This is Mac OS Ken.
CIRP's got interesting iPhone numbers, follow-ups on the YouTube subtitle story and the Taboola deal, and over 70 Emmy nominations for Apple TV+. It is Thursday, the 18th of July, 2024. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. It could be a sign of something, but the question is, what? Boutique researcher Consumer Intelligence Research Partners, or CIRP, is out with its June quarter iPhone numbers. According to the firm's report, iPhone 15 models came in softer last quarter in the US than iPhone 14 models did for the same quarter a year earlier. According to the report, the four iPhone 15 models accounted for 67% of total iPhone sales in the quarter, compared to 79% for the four iPhone 14 models in the same quarter a year ago. Where did the iPhone 15 sales go? Interestingly, they seem to have gone to iPhone 14. Last quarter, the firm says sales of iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus accounted for 17% of U.S. iPhone sales. For the same quarter a year ago, iPhone 13 only accounted for 11% of iPhone sales in the States. While there are ways to read this news as dire, it is worth noting the top-selling iPhone in the U.S. last quarter was the iPhone 15 Pro Max, according to CIRP. For the same quarter a year ago, the top seller was the entry-level iPhone 14, not the higher-priced Plus, Pro, or Pro Max. There are a couple of things worth noting. Thing 1, CIRP's reports are not based on carrier data or supply chain info or secret people said to know something. They are instead based on surveys of consumers, which I guess is where the Consumer Intelligence Research part of their name comes from. Thing 2, the firm's not saying whether overall sales of iPhones are up or down. They're just saying that of the iPhones that they've heard about, the most recent iPhones didn't play as big a part last quarter as they did the same quarter a year ago. Still, we come back to the start. What does this mean? Are people pinching pennies? Did carrier promotions play a part? CIRP kind of leaves that question dangling with a tune in next time. The firm says there is some additional data that may help answer the question. They say that will be addressed in a future report. Apple says the subtitles scraped from YouTube are not part of Apple Intelligence. Earlier this week, says a piece from 9to5Mac, an investigation detailed that Apple and other tech giants had used YouTube subtitles to train their AI models. This included over 170,000 videos from the likes of MKBHD, MrBeast, and more. While Apple didn't scrape the subtitles itself, the subtitles were still ill-gotten. That's because such skimming goes against YouTube's terms of service. Perhaps still not great, though the report from 9to5Mac has Apple defending itself / explaining that the info skimmed will not be part of its greater AI offering. According to the report, Apple used the dataset to train its open-source OpenELM models. Described as a state-of-the-art open language model, the piece says OpenELM was created as a tool for the research community, not as a commercial venture. In the past, says the piece, Apple has said that Apple Intelligence models were trained on licensed data, including data selected to enhance specific features, as well as publicly available data collected by its web crawler. OpenELM will not be part of Apple Intelligence, according to the company. That indicates the YouTube subtitles won't be part of it either. Tech writer and GigaOM founder Malik has some thoughts on Apple's reported ad sales deal with Taboola. He's not happy about it. I told you yesterday of word that Apple has signed up with Taboola to sell ads for the Cupertino company's news and stocks apps, best known for sort of spammy, crappy ads. News of Taboola stumbling into Apple's ecosystem was not met favorably. Enter Mr. Malik. Writing on his site, ohm.com, Malik says, for over a decade I have been critical of Taboola and its one-time rival Outbrain, equating them to the internet's venereal disease that never goes away. In 2017, when the two companies merged, it became clear that what was the herpes of the internet was mutating into a superbug. I said as much on Twitter. Well, that day has come, and even Apple is now infected. I will say for me personally, my concerns were allayed when reports Tuesday mentioned Taboola Select, a program for large companies that limits ads to what are deemed to be premium publishers. Either Malik hasn't heard about that, which seems unlikely, or he's concerned despite that, which gives one pause. Quoting his post again, "No way I want to pay to let Taboola and its terrible advertising re-enter my information streams. Apple's decision to strike a deal with Taboola is shocking and off-brand, so much so that I have started to question the company's long-term commitment to good customer experience, including its commitment to privacy. As it chases more and more revenue to appease Wall Street, it's clear Apple will become one of those companies that prioritize shareholders over paying customers and their experience. And they're losing a few bucks as a result." Malik says he has canceled his Apple One account, choosing instead to pay for iCloud storage and Apple Music separately, apparently giving up on Apple TV Plus and not supporting the reported ad move through Apple News Plus. If you've got a Microsoft account, you've probably got access to a new artistic RoboPal. Engadget says Mr. Softy has officially released its designer platform for AI image generation. The piece says the platform, competing against the graphic design platform Canva, can produce images either by affecting a picture you've already produced or from the ground up. The thing that I find interesting, Microsoft's Designer app for iOS comes just ahead of the AI image generation Apple is building into iOS 18. Then again, the Redmond crew isn't targeting iPhone so much as targeting everything. Engadget says Designer can be used on the web in more than 80 languages as a mobile app for iOS and Android, and as an app for Windows. All of that time I wasted with crayons. And finally today, with award season having been over for about 7.5 minutes now, you know what time it is. It is time for the next award season. Apple Insider says nominations for the 76th Emmy Awards were announced on Wednesday, and Apple is up for quite a few. 72 nominations, according to a piece from iMore. That includes craft nominations like cinematography, production design, writing, and directing, as well as guest actors, supporting actors, lead actors, and whole titles. The BBC ran a list of the big nominations, pulling out 11 of the biggest tied to the Cupertino streamer. Lessons in Chemistry earned 2 nominations, one for Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series, and another for Brie Larson, lead actress in a limited or anthology series or movie. Palm Royale picked up 2 nominations, one for Outstanding Comedy Series and one for Kristen Wiig, Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series. Wiig will be going head-to-head with Maya Rudolph. She picked up a nomination for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series for Loot. One nomination for Idris Elba for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series for his role in Hijack. That will see Elba going up against Gary Oldman, also nominated for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series for his part in Slow Horses. That was one of 2 noms for that show, with the other being Outstanding Drama Series. That sets up an internal competition that leads to yet another internal competition. Slow Horses is trying for Outstanding Drama Series against the Apple TV Plus stalwart, The Morning Show. That title picked up 2 other big nominations. Both Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon are up for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series for their parts in that show. Worth noting again, Apple's streaming service picked up 72 nominations, which, a piece from Variety says, is a personal best for the service. That lags some of the other heavy hitters, though not by much. According to the same Variety piece, Max picked up 91 nominations, while FX picked up 93. Netflix led them all for the year, grabbing 107 nominations across 30 titles. The 76th Emmy Award ceremony is scheduled for the 16th of September. It will run live on ABC. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.